that you're here. We go live every Sunday answering your questions. Today's question is, how do you get straight legs on a Cadillac for Candlestick, and also how high do the ceilings have to be? So let's just talk all things Candlestick today. But first, Lesley Logan here, co-founder of onlinepilatesclasses.com, and we love answering your questions. So you can ask a question on any of the videos on our channel, and we will make sure it gets put in the lineup for our Sunday lives. If you're an onlinepilatesclasses.com member, we actually answer your questions inside of our members only group, which is on our OPC app. The app is free. The membership part, you do have to sign up for it though. And you can do that onlinepilatesclasses.com/YouTube. But let's talk about Candlestick, because it's this really cool exercise that you'd be surprised how quickly you can have it in your body. You do have to have a Cadillac. So this is one of those things that if you have the onlinepilatesclasses.com flashcard deck for the Cadillac and Tower, you'll see that on this exercise, it's not accessible on a tower. It's not. You do have to have this Cadillac, but it is fun. And so I want you to understand the ways that you can be building your practice up, even if you don't have access to a Cadillac yet, or if you don't have high ceilings. So let's first talk about the ceiling height, and then we'll talk about preparing your body, and then we'll talk about Candlestick, okay? So I have an old house, and our ceilings are what, 8 feet, Brad? 8 feet? Yeah, he's nodding 8 feet. So they're 8 feet. So on my Contrology Cadillac, I'm 5'9". If I stand up, my hair bun does hit the ceiling. My head doesn't, but my hair bun does, okay? So I will do a version of Candlestick. I'll call it a Candlestick prep, but ideally 10+ foot ceilings are best. Obviously, as a 5'9" person, I probably want like 11 foot or 12 foot. And our dream is to build a studio in the backyard where we do have like a 12-foot ceiling, or at least high ceilings, because it is so nice. I've been in studios that have 12-foot ceilings, and it's really great. I've also been in studios where I think it's called a drop ceiling. I'm not really sure the actual terminology. Don't quote me. It's those really ugly like panels in the ceiling. Brad's nodding, it's a drop ceiling. Okay. So, and over by the Cadillac, they punched out the panels so you can go into I'm sure that's against so many people's leases, but it is an option for those of you who have those hideous ceilings, okay? So you do want like over 10 feet high ceilings if you are wanting Candlestick to be something that you have access to with fully straight legs. But I'll show you how I do it in my lower ceilings, because you still can. And also, even if you have low ceilings, you might not be able to Candlestick. If you have access to a Cadillac, it is so much fun. There's so many different things. My mom's visiting this week, and she's like, I need one of these in my house. Everyone does. This is in our living room, by the way. So you can have one in your house too. All right, so let's talk about exercises that prepare you. So even if you don't have access to a Cadillac, you could still be preparing yourself for Candlestick. So what are those exercises? Rolling like a ball. You guys, when I show you how I get into Candlestick, you are going to see rolling like a ball happen. Thigh stretch. Chest expansion. These things are going to be really, really important, because you have to open up the front of those hips, and you need that arm back connection. So your arm springs are going to be really great. Shoulder bridge on the mat is going to be excellent. Leg pull back where your arms are behind you, being able to have that flexibility of your arms overhead behind you, you being able to circle them around. So my goodness, your spine corrector arm series is going to be amazing for this, right? If you struggle with tall back exercises, meaning just the tall ones here, not the flexion, not the extension, then Candlestick is going to be a struggle for you. So even getting up against a wall and doing your 100 or your single leg circles, your roll downs, anything where you can really get that feedback against a wall. Oh my God, my armchair lovers. I could keep going. There are so many exercises you could be doing. So just know that your personal practice is preparing you for Candlestick, even if you're not having access to it yet. So there's a lot of different ways to get into it. Personally, I don't love the walking into it version, because it's kind of like if you're doing a handstand in yoga and you're always using a wall. Your handstand will always need a wall, right? So I would much rather you try and kind of, in air quotes, fail at jumping into Candlestick than stepping into it. That being said, your first time, you may want to walk into it, okay, just to kind of get the vibe. But then it's like, how do we kind of use our double leg stretch? We use our rolling like a ball and really get ourselves upside down. So if in rolling like a ball, you are not able to balance on your shoulders for 2 seconds, 1, 2, right? And I was almost like not even full 2. Here we go. If you can balance if you can't do that, then, and you're not doing overhead exercises like roll over and jackknife, don't even worry about Candlestick. get your strength and stamina and that strong upper back connection. On OPC, we actually have several courses on that arm back connection and getting one's called bottoms up, one's called arm back connection. Both of those are going to help you prepare yourself for Candlestick. Okay. Then really work on that flexibility in your back, but also the strength and stamina of your core. So when you do Candlestick, typically you're probably doing your hanging pull-ups. So the trapeze is here. And that is why people often use it to do the stepping into Candlestick. I'm not going to do the stepping in because again, it's not my favorite. It's not how I've accessed Candlestick. Okay. So you want to be more in the center of your Cadillac and you have your hands. It's funny how our bodies will just make sure your hands are even on their own. And then because I have the ceilings I don't jump. Also, you should not. You want to be able to pull those knees into your chest and flip yourself upside down. Oh, coordination on the reformer. Great exercise for teaching you the prep for Candlestick. So I'm going to pull my knees into my chest and I'm going to go upside down. I can't talk and do it at the same time. So I'm going to go silent and hopefully the AirPods stay in. There we go. So you get upside down and then you can just practice being here. Or because I have the low ceilings, I can take my knees up and then I can get tall, right? And then I can bring my knees in and I can either dismount this way or this way, right? So did you see that rolling like a ball action? And then I get upside down and then from there I can do. So hello, jackknife. That reach over and up is your Candlestick, okay? Overhead on the reformer, that reach over and up. And too often we reach over and then we sometimes get up or we just go up and we forget the over. So really, really making sure that you're never losing the over to get the up because that's going to help you get upside down, okay? And if you notice, it's like you've got to use the center. We got to get those hips up. So if you have questions about this for your practice, let me know. The grip strength is real. Which is why Candlesticks should not be the first thing you're doing hanging up here. I would definitely make sure you're doing your hanging pull-ups, your big twist, getting used to holding yourself up here. In the flashcards for the Cadillac deck, I also have a hanging pull-up prep, and it's a really great exercise. My teacher, Jay Grimes, taught me. I remember, I'll never forget the day he looked at me. He's like, your problem is your right elbow. It still is. So your problem is your right elbow. And he goes, come over here, come over here. And he taught me this hanging pull-up exercise, which I'm not going to do for you today, but we do have it as a tutorial here on this channel, and we do have it in the flashcards. And he taught me this prep, and he's like, this is your homework every single day, every single day. And the truth is that homework helped me not hang in this hyperextended elbow and instead connect to my upper back and really be able to stand in that. So if you are struggling with some of those exercises I've listed today, then it's absolutely okay to be curious on how to support those versus like trying to get to your Candlestick. This is a fun exercise. It's a fun ending. It is not the end all be all. You can have an amazing Pilates practice without ever doing it. But for those of you with lower ceilings or starting out, do the bent knee version. Super, super great. All right. I'm about to go on tour. So if you are watching this in real time around this date, August 4th, we hit the road. We're going to be going to 13 cities, and I would love to meet you in person. Like, it means so much to me when I get to meet those of you who this channel supports to meet you in person. So go to opc.me/tour to get your tickets and see what cities we're going to. And also for the teachers who are watching, my mentorship program for 2025, the doors have opened. We've actually filled 2/3 of the seats already, but that doesn't mean it's full yet. And it would be awesome if you are really enjoying these videos and you're enjoying how I explain things and the curiosity around that and you want to have that in your teaching. Make sure you check us out. Make sure you check out the mentorship out. It's called Elevate. And you can get more information at lesleylogan.co/elevate. That's LesleyLogan.co/elevate. Because we're here to elevate your teaching, your practice, and your connection to the method. Thank you so much. I'll be back live next Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific time answering your questions. My OPC members, I'll see you in our members only community. Have an amazing